Hi, Alex. Happy spring. I can't wait to see you again, but until I do, I thought I'd give you something to kind of think of me. And anytime you're feeling down or blue, I wanted you to bring out the Blue Book of Fairy Tales. And I'm going to read it to you, and you can follow along on the book. The first story is Rapunzel. Once there lived a good man and his wife. Near their house was a beautiful garden, but they did not dare go into it because it belonged to a terrible witch. One day the woman noticed a bed of fresh radishes. "Oh, I must have some," she said to her husband. "Unless I can have some, I know I shall die." The good husband loved his wife very much. That night he climbed over the wall into the garden and picked a handful of radishes. The witch caught him. "Thief!" cried the witch. "How dare you steal my radishes? You'll pay for this." "Be merciful," begged the man. "My wife is dying for longing for your radishes." "Very well," the witch said. "I'll take all the radishes. I messed up.
Just keep going.
No, stop it.
No,
Stop
it's fine.
it.
It's adorable. She'll think it's funny. Just start over.
All right, my cute darling. We'll keep going, because Tyler won't edit it. "Very well," the witch said. "Take all the radishes your wife can eat. In return, you must give your first child to me." Soon a baby was born. The witch took her away and named her Rapunzel, which means radish. She was the most beautiful child under the sun. When Rapunzel was 12, the witch shut her up in a high tower that had neither staircase nor door. When the witch wanted to come up, she called, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Then Rapunzel unwound her long golden braids, and the witch climbed up. With each year, Rapunzel grew more beautiful. One day, a handsome prince heard her singing. He rode to the tower and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Then up he climbed. When they saw each other, the prince and Rapunzel immediately fell in love. Rapunzel promised to marry the prince as soon as she could escape from the tower. But the wicked witch discovered the plan. In a rage, she cut off Rapunzel's hair and sent her off to live in the wilderness. Then she waited in the tower to trap the prince. That evening, the prince climbed the golden rope of hair. Instead of his beloved Rapunzel, he found the horrible witch. "Rapunzel is mine," she screamed. "You shall die for trying to steal her." The prince leapt from the window. He fell onto a thorn bush and was blinded. For many years he wandered through the woods weeping for Rapunzel. One day the prince heard a beautiful song. He walked toward it. The voice was Rapunzel's, and she wept with joy to see her prince again. 2 of her tears fell on his eyes. Instantly he could see. Then the prince took Rapunzel to his kingdom, and they lived happily ever after. Aww. The next story in the book is Beauty and the Beast. Once there was a trader who had 3 daughters. The youngest one was so beautiful that her father called her Beauty. This made her sisters very jealous. One day, good news came to the trader. The ship had finally come into port. "What shall I bring you?" the father asked his girls. The older daughter asked for fine clothes. Beauty asked only for a rose. On his way back from town, the trader lost his way in the woods. Suddenly, he saw a great castle surrounded by flowers. The door was open, so he went inside. The trader saw no one, so he ate and drank and went to bed. The next day he set out again. On the way he remembered Beauty's wish and picked a beautiful rose from the castle garden. There was a dreadful roar, and an ugly beast rushed up. "You will die for stealing my rose," he growled. "Forgive me," begged the trader. "I only took it for one of my daughters. I promised her a rose." "Then go home," the beast said, "and send that daughter back to me. Promise me, that you, and she will promise me that, and you shall be free. I will gladly go to the beast, Beauty said when she heard what had happened. Otherwise, I would surely die of grief over having caused your death. So the great joy of her two sisters, Beauty went to Beast's castle. When she got there, she found a fine table set for dinner. Beast came in. Did you come here willingly? He roared. Yes, answered Beauty. You are good, and I am grateful, said Beast. Now good night. I will see you tomorrow. The next day, Beauty wandered all through the castle. Each room was more beautiful than the last, and Beauty's room was the most beautiful of all. Besides, Beast had given Beauty a magic mirror through which she could see her home and her father looked very sad. That night, Beast came in at dinner time. Tell me, he said, do you think I am ugly? Yes, Beauty answered, but you are kind, too. Your kindness makes me forget how ugly you are. I am grateful, said the Beast. Then he said, Beauty, will you marry me? No, Beast, Beauty said. The Beast sighed deeply. Then good night, he said. 3 months passed, and each day Beast proved his kindness to Beauty. She had everything she needed. Each night after dinner, Beast asked Beauty to marry him, but Beauty always said no. I don't think I shall ever marry you, Beauty said, but I shall be your friend. One day, Beauty saw in the magic mirror that her father was ill. She begged Beast to let her go home. Go, said the Beast, but if you do not come back after 10 days, I shall die of grief. Beauty promised she would come back, but when she got home, she was so busy she forgot to count the days. After she had been away 10 days, Beauty dreamed that the Beast was dying of grief. Beauty woke up. Poor Beast, she said, I have been cruel. She whisked herself back in the castle, and the next morning she was there. All day Beauty waited impatiently for the night. That night Beast did not come to dinner. Beauty looked everywhere for him. At last she found Beast lying in the garden. I shall die happy because you are back, the Beast whispered. No, Beast, said Beauty. Live, and I shall be your wife. Then, quite forgetting his ugliness, Beauty kissed the Beast. A handsome prince stood where the Beast had been. I was under an evil spell, the prince explained. I had to remain a beast until a beautiful girl should love me for my goodness alone. The prince took Beauty's hand and led her to the castle. Beauty found her father there, but her jealous sisters had been turned to stone statues. Their punishment was to watch Beauty's happiness until they learned to be kind. Beauty and the prince were married. Their joy was great, for it grew out of great happiness. The last story is called Toads and Diamonds. I've never heard of this story before, so I'm excited to read it to you, Alex. There was once a widow who had 2 daughters. The elder was proud and haughty like her mother. She was the favorite. The younger was beautiful and sweet. Because of this, her mother was jealous of her and made her work hard all the time. One day, the pretty daughter was drawing water at the fountain. A poor beggar woman asked for a drink. Gladly, the girl replied sweetly. She took up water from the clearest part of the fountain. The beggar woman, who was a good fairy in disguise, drank the water. She said, Because you are so pretty and have good manners, I shall give you a gift. Every word you speak shall come out of your mouth a flower or a jewel. When the girl got home, her mother scolded her for taking so long. I'm sorry I'm late, Mother, said the pretty daughter. As she spoke, 2 diamonds, 2 pearls, and a red rose fell from her mouth. Then the greedy mother sent her elder daughter to the fountain. Be nice to the beggar woman, she said, but this time the good fairy was disguised as a lovely princess. She asked for some water. Why should I serve a lady such as yourself? The proud daughter snapped rudely. You are cross and ill-bred, the good fairy said. From now on, toads and snakes shall leap out of your mouth when you speak. The elder daughter ran home. "Oh, mother," she began. At once 2 horrid toads hopped from her mouth, and 2 slimy snakes slithered to the ground. The daughter was so frightened that she ran into the woods. She was never heard from again. Meanwhile, a king's son had seen the younger daughter and fallen in love with her. The prince married the younger daughter and brought her to his castle. There they lived well and happily ever after. Just like you and me and Tyler, we will all live happily ever after. I love you, Alex. Bye.
Bye.